Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham at the third at your service. Now we're going to be talking about the service. It's time to get realistic, right? You're getting what you need. That's fact. But I'm sorry for my other podcast being so blunt, but it had to come out the way it should. Right? We all understood what's unfolding. So is everybody around me, and everybody knows it. Everybody understands it. I don't need a BS with you, right? I was truthful about the reality. I'm truthful about fiction and how it rotates. Then we become legendaries because we are connected to everything else, like anything, and then it all adds up. But then, you know, like I said, there's two more generations of the Hatt family. This is why I said you got me already. That's third gen out in the position, obviously. My mother's still alive, and my real father's still alive. Charles Topham the second. Right? Sir Topham the first is dead, and so is Senior. You can't get them back because they would have shut you all up. No offense, but that's how it works. We just don't like bullshit in our faces. We don't. What's happened now? Thank God to my grandfather on on my mother's side of the family had the clue I needed. I got black and white evidence, written material, if you will, that says it's time to get realistic. It's time to really understand why. You know, a lot of people make mistakes as they go along, but this is no mistake. This is reality of everything. Why you're getting Richard Topham hat, and you get Emily Helen hat, and then you're getting Adam Taylor on top. Why be grateful as it comes unfoldedly in front of you. Why a lot of people will say, "What the fuck are you lot guys doing then?" We used to be, uh, I know a lot of people would say a lot of things they regret, but now I bet they're regretting it because they feel like, oh shit, my family is legendary. From the blood, from the day we were born to the day we rise, bang, we nailed it on a coffin for you. Shut up, we are realistic. There's no joke about it, right? We know who's involved, we know who's connected to it. We just need to nail on a coffin and say, look, you see, the thing is what you have to be careful of this little piece, which everybody equates of. Right? We all talk about Thomas and the Magic Railroad like anything. We've gone through the Lily Cole stage, obviously, which is true, but Thomas takes Lily back to her grandpa, which is realistic. Right? A lot of people said why. Right? I'm going to explain. I'm not going to explain it in big detail because it's too long and it's too vibrant to understand. When people get time to get realistic, I mean get realistic. Why? I don't want you to laugh about it. It's realistic to a T. But you have to realise when you do from when children read it, they see it from a fiction point of view. The adults get it from a realistic point of view, and then vice versa, vice versa. So it keeps going for about another two generations, right? So we are. I'm basically the real McCoy. Always have been, always shall be. Right? Then my son Richard will come along, and he will say the same thing. I said, don't harm him because I already got the proof on the internet to say it's realistic. Right? I don't need you to take him down the same path that you did before. In the past, we didn't have the technology or the way to communicate faster and more efficient to everybody. It's realistic. It's no joke. When you see it, it's realistic. It's time to get realistic. You're getting Richard, you're getting Emily, and you get Adam Taylor on top. It's all realistic. Right? When we all talk about it now, it's more everybody's calmed down about it. But we have to follow the old ways to get the new ways in for you. You can't just have, oh, we can do this, we can do that, bang, bang. I said, look, You have to follow the old ways to get the new ways in again. Right? When Richard Topham Hatt comes into play, Emily Helen Hatt will follow suit, marry a tailor, and then Adam Taylor is in suit. Bang! Right on the nail. But you have to be very patient on this. This is not a thing I can rush over in one day because it's wrong. Right? I'm slowing it really down because I'm telling you, you need to really, really be realistic. Right? I may be relaxing at the moment and chilling out a little bit, which is understandable. But you have to get realistic. When you read those Thomas the Tank books, they are realistic from Generation 1, Generation 2, Generation 3, Generation 4, Generation 5, and it goes strictly right into Adam Taylor. But that's a different department. You see, what you watching, you have to watch well from the rest of the timeline to fill in the other half of the book. So it's not like that 1, 2, 3 is going to happen. It's going to happen in real life anyway. So get realistic, will you? When I stated in the last podcast, I should have been told you from day one that it had to start somewhere, right? Like any book writer would do. But it's based on facts, reality. Everything is reality. So what happened? Audrey let everything unfold naturally. But now you got me. Now everybody's saying, oh shit. Excuse my language, but it's true. You got me. You got Richard Topham Hatt coming my way, right? And then you got Emily Helen Hatt, my granddaughter. Once that's in check, then the bing bella boom, she gets married to a tailor, and then the tailor brings Adam Taylor into the fold. So realistically, it's all realistic. Don't just take this as this is a warning, right? While my family is still slowly piecing it together in a very calm and natural way, grow up because we slowly putting the pieces together. Right? I may know all the answers, but then you got to get realistic. That has to take a little time. Time is what we have a lot of to a degree, but then you've got to let it slow down a bit. You know, when people rush, they slip up, as you know. But when I'm trying to explain it to the 8 billion people, then it's like a big mouthful going out, 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 you know. I'm telling you locally, everybody that lives in Cromer, West London, Sheringham, Norwich, everywhere in the Norfolk area, the UK area, I said, look, slow down everything. You, you do the right job. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming you lot. But I'm just saying, slow down everything. Be be persistent. Don't overdrive yourself to think we're going to do this all in one day because it won't work. It's like telling me to slow down, and I'm telling you to slow down. We're not in a rush, right? Things will add up and it will click and play. It's like saying in the gaming, in the reality world of it, it's click and play. It's what everybody understands. But when you unfold it in the correct way, it goes well correctly. You got me, you got everything in check, but you just got to wait for that little piece to click in. Right? I know it's a lot for a lot of people that know my future ahead of schedule. Right? Well, the rest of is right. He's not bullshitting. But when it comes down to realistic of it, it adds up. I do apologise for my last podcast saying that my family is dying. It At this moment they are not, but I'm just saying hypothetically they could have done. Right? When people say I'm not the only one available on this planet that's still around, but there are a lot of things that are unfolding slowly, not in a big rush. So please give me some time. Time is the essence. When you hear a message from me and about my family or anything directly from my own mouth, then you've then been confirmed by me directly. At this moment in time, right? My grandfather, who was very kind enough, who's not alive anymore, managed to give me the last piece of a puzzle that you're all looking for and you can't find it. It was done for privacy and secrecy, of course, but a lot of people in Chroma or in the UK already know that answer, but they can't always say it out loud. It's hard for me and and everything unfolding that's correctly. Yes, a lot of people may not understand what's unfolding, like Duck, right, for example. But my mum's getting a little bit about it, but understanding. I said, even the day, it's all realistic for God's sake. Sometimes we are brought back together again for one reason. You see, in the end of the day, you got what you need. You just have to be very patient. Please. It's time to get realistic. You got the reality version of Thomas the Tank now. Right, because of me and my four support engines, of course, or my steam team, as you want to call them, and then you got everything else on top. Just, just be happy what you got right now, because Richard Topham Hatt will come in, then Emily Helen Hatt will come in, then Adam Taylor will follow suit. So if you really be patient enough, I will keep you what you call in check and taps and everything else to let you know what's going on in the realistic version of it. You got basically got season 25 and onwards, but it's taken a little while, slowly but surely. But my adult timeline has been added in above the book. That's why it's not in the book. So that's why it's all in a time loop. It's time to get realistic and understand, but please do not rush me. Thank you very much in every angle.